But it is time to hit social media for our hashtag segment. For that, we'd like to welcome in Andy Swan, the co-founder of LikeFolio.com, and we have Jenny Horn with us as well to talk one of your favorite companies, Monster Beverage.
Yes, I've done my fair share of market research on this company, absolutely. The stock is up about 0.75% today, of course, like we just mentioned with the broader markets. But this is a name that's really cool because it's up something of 60,000%, I think, in the last 20 years. But over the last 5 years, it is up 74%, and this year up 20%. So this stock has done really well as of lately, aside from my own personal bias that I do drink a lot of energy drinks. And Kevin, I know you were excited about some of the brands that are within Monster Energy.
Exactly right. What I love most about Monster Energy is who they appeal to and how they do it, right? The names that they have on their beverages, it's like every tracking data of every cool name that gets, I want to hear Mutant, Monster, Mega Monster, Uber Monster, Gladiator, Muscle Monster, Samurai, Full Throttle, and Burn. I love the name. Who's naming these things? It's got to be like an 18-year-old that's naming this. Andy, help me out here. Which one do you like? I'm thinking you like Gladiator or Uber Monster.
Both of those sound fantastic to me, Kevin. I'm a buyer either way.
So,
yeah, Monster. So I'll just jump into our data for Monster. LikeFolio data, we're tracking how many people are talking about buying Monster products. We track all of those brands, all of those crazy names. Yeah. And what we're seeing is a real explosive growth over the last 6 to 9 months for this company. And we think it bodes really well for the company going into 2020. Popularity for the brand is at all-time highs. You can see on the chart there in green, that's purchase intent mentions. That's what LikeFolio tracks. In other words, people talking about buying the products. Excuse me. And with the stock, kind of hitting these resistance levels, we think there's a real opportunity potentially to break out to new all-time highs and kind of have green fields in front of it. So for us, looking at the data right now, we see a lot of people moving from Red Bull over to Monster Energy. And more importantly, we just see a lot more people wanting to buy energy drinks in general. The entire space is expanding in terms of consumer demand, and Monster is leading the way in terms of growth, doing a very, very nice job. Part of it's the names of the products, but also part of it's just the taste and the quality of the product. I think they're doing a really nice job.
Andy, are you seeing strength in certain brands of the Monster Energy, or is it just Monster Energy as a whole?
Yeah, it's some of the brands. Actually, we see some serious strength in their, I think it's called Zero or something like that. It's their low calorie, 0 calorie, 0 carb energy drink that kind of hits both, what I would call mega trends. And those mega trends are, people moving towards adding energy drinks into their diet, kind of somewhat a little bit away from coffee, but also reducing their carb intake. And so Monster's found a really nice way to hit both of those niches with one product. I think it's doing really well.
Give me a vodka Uber Monster. Or give me it kind of rolls off your tongue. Give me a Tito's Gladiator. What do you think?
It hurts my heart to think about that. But this is one of those names, Andy, that on social media people love it, of course. And like you just mentioned, the low carb, low calorie brands. I think there's a stigma around energy drinks that they're so unhealthy. And I guess, of course, I'm biased because I drink lots of energy drinks. But you can get energy drinks that aren't actually that terrible for you, which is, it seems like a really popular thing on Twitter this morning. So our first tweet is from Eric Clark, who says, Monster Beverage has been asleep for a few years too and worked off long-term OB reading. Remember, it's one of the best performing stocks over the last decade. Key test here for a new breakout, no position yet, but have alerts set at $63. So the stock is at $62 right now. So
62.60, yeah.
And it's going up. It's up, like I said, 0.75% today. So this stock could hit 63 sometime this week with the broader market rally. But this is such an interesting one because it is one of the best performing stocks and we don't really talk about it that often.
No, and Andy, as we take a look at your data too, I start looking at things, and whenever we bring your data across, I look at, how well has it predicted the moves in the past. This was basically asleep in terms of your data for the last couple of years too. So seeing this strong move to the upside here, and we haven't seen that happen in the stock yet. I can see why you guys are excited about this one and have your eyes on it. We talked a little bit about them knowing their brand as well. They know kind of their demographic, typically more action sports. We know that they're sponsoring a lot of those big names there. I think they even ventured across and were with Tiger Woods for a little bit, if I do recall. I don't know if that might have been Muscle Farm, but What is the general, I know you guys don't track demographics, but what is the general sentiment in terms of their ability to kind of get to new demographics and get more wide adoption? As to Jenny's point, they are kind of seen as a little bit unhealthy still.
Yeah, they are. I think that they're taking a page out of Red Bull's playbook a little bit in terms of the way that they brand themselves, the way that they go to market. Of course, with beverages, a lot of it's about distribution. And so what I like to see in our data is that the consumer demand for Monster is growing at a very rapid pace, which puts pressure on the retailers, on the grocers, on those convenience stores to carry it. And so I think that they're doing a really good job of building that consumer demand in a way that almost forces distribution to happen. I think it could be a pretty explosive move for Monster if they can, if this trend holds in 2020. I think the stock, I think asleep is the right word for the stock as of recently, but we could see a real nice move to the upside if they can get all their ducks in a row in terms of distribution, because the consumer demand is there and growing at a considerable pace.
Andy, can you imagine the marketing meeting sitting there going, here's what I want. I want my Monster logo on something that is launched off a ramp. Whatever you're launching, I want my logo on whatever you launch into the air. Humans, bikes, rockets, anything. Put the Monster logo on.
I love it. See, that's a brand I can totally get behind. I love that. So our next tweet is from Charles Norton, who says, Bang continues to lose share in scanner data as Reign ramps. Bang market share was 7.4% in the last week of data, 7.8% market share in gas and convenience versus 7.9% at the end of the prior 4 weeks, 8.3% in gas and convenience. So I thought this was so interesting because typically you think of when you buy Monster or other energy drinks, you buy them at a gas station. So it's, according to this tweet, Monster's own Reign is now beating Bang, which is like the competitor, and these are both just more caffeinated versions of Monster.
Hold on, I'm writing this down. Reign beating Bang. Okay, that's two names I didn't even have on my list.
These are new names for
I didn't even have those.
But these brands are, I don't know if you've ever had one, Andy, they have a ton of caffeine. They're almost like a pre-workout. So I was curious if you have any data at all on Bang versus Reign.
Actually, we have a little bit. I don't have it on the top of my head. I will say that Monster is definitely the winner of the group so far, but I think that a rising tide can lift all boats here. Jenny, you're right on the nose when it comes to energy drink consumption in general, definitely on the rise. And so there's a lot of room for a lot of winners here. Monster just seems to be leading the way in terms of the one brand getting the most attention in terms of growth of consumer demand. And so we really like that. The stock is about the same PE level as Coca-Cola, and I can guarantee you that Monster is going to be growing at a faster pace than broader Coca-Cola over the next year or so. And so when you take those things into consideration, there's a lot of overhead resistance on Monster, but in terms of risk reward, I think this one's shaping up really nicely.
Hey, Andy, great stuff. We'll leave it there. Monster up about 22% over the last 52 weeks. I saw your data up over 45%, I think it was, year over year. So definitely a divergence building there. We'll see how it plays out, but great stuff, and thanks for joining us on this Monday.
Cool, thank you.
All righty, Jenny, thanks for the insight as well.